Gene Watson did me the honour of, well, he was talking to me for ages before the show. Here's a bit more of our interview, and in this bit here, I wanted to know why he moved around the record labels. He's been doing hits for 36 years, but he seems to keep moving around the records label. I asked him why.
I think it's because times change, rules change, guidelines change, music changes in general. But I finished 5 years with Capitol Records, and they changed the rules on me. You know, they didn't offer me the kind of contract that I really thought I deserved and wanted. They flew me out to L.A. and we met in the tower out there at Capitol. And
what was it that they were trying to change that you didn't like?
Well, they wanted to change the royalty structure. You know, they wanted to stop paying royalties on singles. At that time, you know, you had single to 45 RPM records, and they wanted to quit playing royalties on singles, and several things like that I just didn't go along with. I wanted some front money, you know. At that time, I needed a bus really bad. I didn't even have a bus at that time, and the thing is, I had at that time some ultimatums because I had been a top selling artist for them, you know, all the time I'd been with them ever since 11 the Hot Afternoon came out, and I thought that I deserved a little bit more than what they offered, and we couldn't reach an agreement, and so I moved on down the road. I immediately started recording for MCA Records. Mr. Jim Fogelsong was heading up MCA Country Division at that time in Nashville, and he signed me. I mean, the minute my contract was up with Capitol, well, he signed me to a contract with MCA.
Yeah. And you've always been proud to be a traditional country artist, haven't you? Have you ever felt yourself being pushed in a direction that you didn't want to go into?
They tried. They tried. You know, there was a time back in the 80s, early 80s, that everybody was trying to record crossover music, what we call crossover, that would sell in the country field and the pop field. And I just never did get into that. I mean, I'm a traditionalist, and I wasn't going to go very far beyond that, you know, that point. And so I wouldn't cave in, you know, so to speak. Nashville, you know, they've had their clique as to what they recorded, what people recorded. Producers picked out songs for the artists to record and all that. Well, I wasn't in that group, and I refused to move to Nashville. I wasn't a part of that clique, and so I'm a Texas boy. I was born and raised in Texas. I still live in Texas, and even though I still live in Texas, all of my operations are out of Nashville. I record in Nashville. I managed out of Nashville. I'm booked out of Nashville, but I still retain my Texas roots. And when I go to Nashville to record, I kind of, you know, take Gene Watson with me, you know, and that's how I think that's how I retain my identity.
I think so, yeah. You know, you've stuck at it for so many years, and you know, and it's worked for you, haven't it? You've had so many hit songs down the years. 14 Karat Mind, your big #1 song. Yeah. How important was that for you?
Well, it was real important because that was after I made the change over to MCA Records, and I had several #1 records. You know, there were several charts back then. There was Record World, there was R&R, there was the Gavin Report, there was Cash Box, and I had #1 songs in all of those. But it was only when I moved to MCA and released 14 Karat Mind that I got my first #1 in Cash Box. Yeah. You know, and it was the first #1 song for the year 1982. Yeah. And so it's got a lot of memorable parts to it. But yeah, I've always pretty much stuck to traditional country. And I'll have to say this, the fans have stuck with me for it. You know, the traditional fans have stuck with me through thick and thin, and we're still here.
How big is the market for traditional country in America? Because over here in the UK, we don't get to hear about that so much. You know, we get to hear about what's going on at the modern end of the game, you know, Lady Antebellum, Taylor Swift, packing out stadiums, that sort of thing. Presumably, though, there's a whole other layer going on of traditional country music. How big is that scene?
Well, I would like to think that it's bigger than it really is, but all in all, when you get to thinking about it, there's not that many in the States that's recording traditional country music that much anymore. And of course, we depend on XM and Sirius radio, satellite radio, you know, to play us more than anybody else because, you know, the P1 station, the FMers and all that, I mean, they play the Taylor Swifts and the Lady Antebellums and all that, you know, and so there's no room on their charts for us. So we have to depend on, you know, the the medium, radio stations and primary radio stations and XM radio to play us, but they're keeping us in the game. I'm working more now than I was 10 years ago, and we're selling out houses just about everywhere we go. And so that goes to show you that people that like traditional country music, they're going to find it, because they find us. And we are so loyal to these people, we can't thank them enough, because my career is going better now than it has since the 80s,
What do you think of the artists that are at the forefront of the genre now? We mentioned them, Lady Antebellum, I don't know, Rascal Flatts, Kenny Chesney. What's your attitude towards those artists?
I want everybody to succeed at anything they do, and I love skillful people. If they're singers, I love to see them know how. You know what I mean? But today's technology's got it to where you don't have to be a singer to record a record that's going to get played, or a song's going to get played in the States. I think now more than ever they're using artists as marketing tools, as marketing devices. If they're easy to market, if they can really turn the PR on and sell the image. Singing don't have anything to do with it, because they can manufacture a singer, and I think that there's too much of that going on. I'm not saying there's not some great singers out there, because there's a lot of great singers out there, and I admire the ones that can. But there's also people walking the streets of Nashville that are qualified to have a hit song, and they'll never be heard.
The image is all too important, isn't it? Too much so. Now, you're over here in the UK, where you are appreciated. In fact, you only did a couple of gigs last year, didn't you? You're doing a lot more this time round. So obviously, you must enjoy it here in the UK.
We do. I mean, it's great. The fans are fantastic. And I think what makes it so lovable over here is the people research you. The fans. I can talk to fans over here easily that know more about my career than I do. In fact, Norman's sitting there behind you. He can tell you a whole lot more about my career than I can. But they do. If they like you, they research you. They know everything about you. They come out. They support you. And that means everything. That means everything.
Yeah. And you're also quite big in Ireland as well, aren't you? Just across the water.
Yes, and there's some great fans over there, too. In fact, when we work in Ireland, we have fans come over from England, and hopefully we'll have some come over from Ireland over here to see us. But, yeah, we love going to Ireland and working, and the people are just great. I mean, they really are.
Yeah. Now, of course, your band last time you came, did you bring your own band, didn't you?
Not the last time.
No, the time before, maybe?
The time before.
It was the Farewell Party Band, named after one of your songs.
Right. Yeah, named after probably the most popular song that I ever recorded as far as notoriety, and record sales, and most requested song I ever recorded. But yeah, I had the Farewell Party with me next to the last time that I came over, and they loved it, just like me. I mean, they have a ball over here. They love to come over.
Now, I know this is your first date on the tour, so I'm going to tell you this. You are in for a treat, because you're being backed by one of I think these are the best band in the UK, C'est La Vie. You'll want to take these back home.
Oh, they're great. They really are. I had a chance to get up, and we went through a few numbers earlier, and they are so great. They've done their homework. I mean, they're right on top of the songs, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Yeah, and you're going to be going around the UK over the next week or so. What's in store for the fans who come to see you on this tour?
Well, I think we're going to form a family. Me and the guys up there on stage, we're going to be together the whole tour, and man, it's going to be a delight for me. I know that, and I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Now, my favourite song of yours is Till Melinda Comes Around. Are you going to do that one?
Oh, you did your homework digging that out, didn't you?
No, I just like this song.
That's a song that I was getting ready to go in the studio and record, and I had that song on a tape, a cassette tape, and the demo was so bad you had to really listen hard to understand the words. It was just an old scratchy, messed up demo, but I finally dug the words out on it and everything, and I just had to record it. I love that song.
Lovely song.
Yeah.
Lovely song.
Yeah.
Now, you've got a new CD here with you, haven't you? Tell us a bit about this.
We've got a new released it. We just picked up this brand new for Hooks. It's got two of the other albums on it that's released, Memories to Burn, and I can't think of the other one. Anyway, it's a 2 album CD
Yeah.
that we've got tonight before it even hits the market.
Okay.
They just delivered them to the house here a little earlier, and so we're going to be selling them along with some of the others that we brought over. A Taste of the Truth, and we've got one that's got 18 greatest hits on it that I recorded for all of the songs that I recorded back with Capitol and MCA and everything. But we've got a new album that's supposed to be released June the 6th in the States with me and Rhonda Vincent. It's a duet album, and we just finished it up, just working on getting it out, and I'm really, really looking forward for everybody to get a chance to hear that. The title of the album is My Money and Your Good Looks, and I really had fun recording it, and also in the not too distant future we've got another album coming out, and I'm going to let the people wonder about that one. It's going to be extra special.
Okay, and I can tell you about another one that's coming out, which is the Randy Travis anniversary album, celebrating 25 years, which we have to point out is not as many as you, but it's coming out, and you're on there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on one of the cuts on it, and along with George Jones and Lori Morgan, and we had such a good time doing this and everything. Of course, Randy and I were label mates for a while there, and managed by the same person, and everything. And so it was fun to come back in the studio and talk to him and visit with him and do that track on that.
And he's another artist, isn't he, who's sort of stuck to his sort of traditional style of country music and been very successful at it.
Yeah. But yeah, Randy kind of stuck to his guns. He's quite a unique artist. He's one of those, if you hear him one time, you know who he is, and it's Randy's a good friend of mine. It was good working with him the years that we did work together, and just good having him as a friend.
Yeah. I mentioned my favourite song of yours. Well, what's yours? What's your favourite of all the ones you've done down the years?
I've been asked that a lot of times, and I've already told you that I picked all the songs myself when I recorded them, and boy, picking one of them would be like picking a favourite child, It's kind of hard to do. I usually get out of this by saying, whatever the people's favorite is, that's my favorite.
That's a great way of sitting on the fence. Excellent. Gene Watson, thank you so much for your time, and do enjoy the UK tour.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for taking time to talk to me.
When I think my world is all together, my head's on right and things are settling down, I'm taking every day just the way it comes, and I can do it till Melinda comes around. There's a little man at home depending on me, and a woman that would never let me down, and I love them just as sure as God made feelings, and I do fine till Melinda comes around. I promised me I wouldn't think about her, but heaven won't you keep her safe and sound. I've made up my mind not to love her anymore, and I can do it till Melinda comes around. I try to be content with all my blessings, and thankful for the good life that I found. 'Cause if there's such a thing as being happy, I guess I am till Melinda comes around. I promised me I wouldn't think about her, but heaven won't you keep her safe and sound. I've made up my mind not to love her anymore, and I can do it till Melinda comes around. And I can do it till Melinda comes around.
Gene Watson, till Melinda comes around.